I got into the habit of trying to animate things separately, to make everything, flow around on the paper correctly. And I would animate a head, and this was on Little Mermaid. And then I would animate the body, and then I would animate things separately so I could keep track of them, so they would move correctly, right? But then I started getting into trouble, like, oh, that has to move from frame 1 to 7, and the head should move on keys 3 to 9, and then the feet from, and I would have all these charts going on the paper, and it got really confusing and complicated. And then I went back to Milt's work and went, he's got one chart. He's got one chart. He has one chart. It's so annoying. What is he doing? And I would talk about it with Andreas a little bit, and also I did talk about it a little bit with Stan Green, one of Milt's old assistants, and really basically came to realize that he just did a lot of it himself. And he would structure these things where he would do these major key drawings, and then he would go in and fill in all the little details, all the flamboyant little parts on every single drawing. But he wouldn't do the whole drawing. He would do a partial drawing, and then you would fill in the rest, or the balance. But he was so far ahead in the process, he was thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead, that he could figure out where things were going to be in space, so that you would be able to, the assistant could fill in the rest of the drawings, and the whole thing would come together in one sort of final act. The House of Cards would just sort of build itself. I still look at Milt's work today. I still read The Illusion of Life because, I find out something new, every time I do. But I chose Jungle Book with King Louis, the introduction of King Louis, which Milt did most of. Thought I'd put one of my monkeys up there next to it and did a piece of Rafiki. I did look at Jungle Book, desperately trying to, I can't copy this. And I ended up, I did copy something. I copied the elbow hair. Totally ripped it off. I just that looks cool. And I had a drawing of King Louis there, right, on one of the 2 really nice first roughs, Xerox of them, on the wall. But the thing I sort of took away from the King Louis was he's animating a person. It's a human in an animal's body, which is what all these Disney animal films are. But what I took away from it was the sense that how odd you could be with an ape or a monkey. And some of the contortions that King Louis would get into, I sort of felt would be appropriate for this sort of slightly crazed Rafiki character. So parts where he turns his head upside down,